There are the things people say, and then there are the truths they live by, sealed behind a wall of impenetrable silence. There are the battles fought in the open, and then there is the strategic warfare conducted in the quiet theater of the mind. Most men live in the world of noise, broadcasting their every thought, wound, and intention, hoping the volume will be mistaken for strength. But there exists another breed of man, one who understands that true power is not in what is said, but in what is rigorously guarded. Welcome to the Sigma Male community. We are not here to echo the hollow advice of the masses. We are here to dissect the architecture of true self-reliant strength, the kind that needs no applause and seeks no validation. Today we delve into the sanctum of the Sigma mind, exploring the 11 truths they live by but will never, ever articulate. This isn't about secrets for the sake of mystery, it's about understanding a profound operating system built on observation, strategy, and an unwavering commitment to inner fortitude. 1. The Alchemy of Betrayal. When the venom of betrayal finds its mark, the common man screams, seeking validation for his pain and allies for his revenge. He puts his wound on public display, hoping sympathy will somehow stitch it closed. The Sigma male, however, retreats into a silent forge within his own mind. The pain is not ignored, it is acknowledged as a raw, potent element. It is the beginning of a process, not the end. Where others see a catastrophic event, he sees an invaluable data set. He meticulously replays every interaction, every subtle shift in tone, every promise that felt just slightly hollow, not with the goal of self-pity, but with the cold, detached precision of a master strategist reviewing battle footage. He isn't drowning in the why, he is reverse engineering the how. This is a deeply personal and solitary alchemy, a transmutation of agony into armor. He understands that true recovery isn't found in retribution or in receiving an apology that is likely insincere. It is found in forging an upgraded version of his own perception. The pain is the fire and the betrayal is the ore. Within his mental crucible, he smelts these elements down, burning away the impurities of naivety and misplaced trust, until what remains is not a scar, but a finely tempered shield of wisdom. This process is intensely private because its power lies in its secrecy. To speak of it would be to expose the blueprint of his newfound strength, to turn a profound internal victory into a common tale of woe. The world sees him move on, seemingly unaffected, but they don't see the furnace that burned within, nor the unbreakable shield he now carries, a silent testament to a battle won in absolute solitude. 2. Silence is a strategic weapon, not a void. In a world addicted to noise, where silence is perceived as a vacuum demanding to be filled, the Sigma male wields it as his most potent weapon. Others talk to fill space, to self-soothe their anxieties, to project an image of knowledge or control. Their words are often just static, a defense mechanism against the terror of their own thoughts. The Sigma, however, understands the immense power that resides in stillness. His silence is not an absence of thought, it is a canvas upon which the true nature of others paints itself. When he remains quiet in a negotiation, a debate, or a confrontation, he creates a profound psychological pressure. This void becomes a mirror, compelling those around him to reveal more than they ever intended. They rush to fill the quiet with their insecurities, their hidden motives, their poorly constructed arguments, essentially handing him the keys to their entire position. This is not a passive act of listening. It is an active, offensive strategy of information gathering. His silence is a carefully calibrated tool that functions like an advanced sonar system, pinging the depths of others while his own position remains cloaked and secure. He observes who becomes agitated, who over-explains, who grows desperate for his approval. He gathers intelligence not by asking but by allowing. The discomfort of his quiet presence is a far more effective interrogator than any direct question could ever be. He knows that in the game of social dynamics and power, the man who controls the flow of information holds an insurmountable advantage. This is a fundamental tenet of his operational code, and explaining it would be like a magician revealing the mechanics of his greatest illusion. It would render a powerful weapon utterly useless. 3. Disengagement is preemptive warfare. When a Sigma male withdraws from a social circle, a project, or a relationship, it is almost always misinterpreted by those left behind. They see it as a sign of being offended, of weakness, or of inexplicable moodiness. The reality is far more calculated and strategic. The The Sigma possesses a highly attuned internal barometer for toxicity and diminishing returns. He can sense the subtle atmospheric shifts that precede a storm, the rise of groupthink, the quiet normalization of disrespect, the slow, parasitic drain of a connection that has lost its vitality. He does not wait for the hurricane to make landfall, for the dramatic blow-up that provides fodder for gossip and endless postmortems. To do so would be a foolish waste of his most precious and non-renewable resource, his energy. His withdrawal is a preemptive strike against future chaos. It is a quiet, decisive act of resource preservation, a tactical reallocation of his focus and peace of mind before they can be contaminated by negativity or pointless drama. He doesn't announce his departure with a grand declaration or a list of grievances. That would invite debate and negotiation, pulling him back into the very dynamic he has deemed unworthy of his investment. Instead, he simply and quietly disengages. The phone calls go unanswered, the invitations are politely declined, and his presence fades like a ghost. To the creators of the toxic environment, this silent exit is baffling. They cannot comprehend it because they lack the self-awareness to see the poison they emit. Explaining the diagnosis to the source of the disease is a futile exercise, one the Sigma wisely chooses to forego. 4. Respect evaporates over micro-betrayals. The world expects grand gestures and cinematic betrayals to be the breaking points of relationships and alliances. But the Sigma male's internal ledger operates on a far more granular and unforgiving scale. His respect for an individual is not shattered by a single dramatic act of treachery. It is eroded, grain by grain, by a consistent pattern of micro-betrayals. He is a connoisseur of character, and he observes the details that most people deem insignificant. It's the subtle eye roll when a subordinate presents an idea, the joke laced with a casual put-down, the constant flaking on minor commitments, or the stark difference in how someone treats a CEO versus a janitor. These are not minor slips. To the Sigma, they are diagnostic data points that reveal the true, unvarnished character of a person. He watches these moments accumulate with the dispassionate focus of an auditor. While the offender remains oblivious, believing their social camouflage is perfectly intact, the Sigma is quietly closing their account. The chilling aspect is that he gives no external signal that this erosion is happening. His outward demeanor may remain polite, even cordial, but internally, a wall has been erected. Access has been permanently revoked. Trust has been reclassified as an unrecoverable asset. He understands that confronting someone over these subtle character flaws is a waste of breath. It invites gaslighting, denial, and manufactured drama. The verdict is delivered not with a bang, but with a silent, irreversible closing of a door that the other person never even knew existed. 5. Their patience is a calculated trap. Observe a Sigma male in the face of another's arrogance, foolishness, or a deeply flawed plan, and you might mistake his calm demeanor for weakness or limitless patience. This is a dangerous misinterpretation. His patience is not the passive tolerance of a saint, it is the calculated, strategic patience of a predator. He understands a fundamental law of the universe. Given enough rope, most people will hang themselves. He sees the inevitable trajectory of an inflated ego or a lie-fueled narrative and recognizes that his intervention would be a tactical error. To step in early, to warn or to correct, would be to waste his energy and, more importantly, to give the offender an external party to blame when things collapse. It offers them an escape from true accountability. So he waits. He watches with an unnerving stillness as the flawed strategy unfolds, as the lies become more entangled, as the ego expands to its breaking point. This is not about a sadistic desire to see others fail. It is about a deep, stoic understanding that the most profound lessons are not taught, but are experienced. The consequence that arises naturally from one's own actions carries a weight and finality that no lecture or "I told you so" ever could. His silence during the lead-up to the inevitable failure is not a sign of support. It is the quiet confidence of a man watching a law of nature, the law of cause and effect, execute itself perfectly. He withholds his intervention not out of kindness, but because he respects the power of an unadulterated, self-inflicted lesson. Pause. You watching this, Sigma or not? Ever feel like an observer in your own life? Like you see the strings others dance to while they remain blissfully unaware? That perception gap, that quiet understanding of how things really work beneath the surface scripts, that's the Sigma frequency. Whether you resonate deeply with this operating system or are simply fascinated by its enigmatic efficiency, you're here because surface-level explanations ring hollow. You are not satisfied with the noise and the performance of modern life. You crave the unvarnished truth about these silent architects who navigate the chaos with a different set of tools. This isn't about conforming to a label, it's about upgrading your own understanding of human dynamics, power, and self-mastery. 6. Depth is communicated in minimalist code. In a culture that often equates the volume of words with the depth of knowledge, the Sigma male is a master of profound minimalism. Do not mistake his brevity for a lack of understanding. It is the hallmark of its mastery. He operates on the principle that true expertise simplifies, it does not complicate. While others churn out paragraphs of verbal filler to obscure their uncertainty or to dominate a conversation, the Sigma delivers his insights with the precision of a laser. A single, well-timed question from him can dismantle a flawed argument that has stood for an hour. One quiet observation can cut through layers of emotional drama to expose the core issue. He has no interest in the shallow waters of gossip or the meandering currents of pointless speculation. He invests his mental energy in building intricate, multi-layered maps of social ecosystems, understanding the hidden agendas, the unspoken alliances, and the true motivations that drive the people within them. But he would never dream of unfurling this entire map for public viewing. Why would he? To do so would be to squander his strategic advantage and waste time explaining complex realities to those who are only capable of understanding the simplified public-facing version of events. His power lies in the vast, unspoken knowledge that his few carefully chosen words imply. He lets the weight of what is left unsaid speak for itself, a silent testament to the depth of the iceberg that lies beneath the surface. 7. Misunderstanding is their native language and they're fluent. For the Sigma male, the experience of being misunderstood is not a rare and painful event. It is the constant, predictable background noise of his existence. He has long ago accepted that his quiet nature will be interpreted as aloofness or arrogance. His analytical approach will be mislabeled as cold cynicism. His fierce independence will be seen as an act of rebellion or a rejection of others. In his younger years, this may have been a source of immense frustration, a lonely burden to carry. But through a process of disciplined acceptance, he has metabolized this frustration. He has become fluent in the language of being misread, navigating this landscape with a kind of weary expertise. He understands that these misinterpretations are not a reflection of his own failings, but a reflection of the different operating systems of those around him. They are judging his software based on their own user manual, and the two are fundamentally incompatible. To engage in a constant war to correct every misperception would be a draining, futile battle of attrition, a colossal waste of his internal resources. So, he finds a strange and resilient peace in the gap between who he is and how he is seen. The constant hum of being misjudged becomes a form of white noise, a steady reminder that living an authentic life often means being illegible to those who only read headlines. He has shed the exhausting burden of explaining himself to an audience that is neither willing nor capable of true comprehension. 8. Loyalty is meticulously audited, not blindly given. In the world of conventional relationships, loyalty is often treated as an assumed default, a currency given freely based on titles like friend, family, or partner. The Sigma male utterly rejects this premise. For him, loyalty is not a feeling or an obligation. It is a meticulously audited, performance-based asset. He is a silent accountant of character, and his trust is not given, it is earned through a relentless and ongoing audit of actions, not words. He operates with a hyper-awareness of the transactional undercurrents in all human connections, and he builds his alliances on the solid ground of proven integrity, not the shifting sands of sentiment. This internal audit is constant and silent. He tracks consistency over time. He notes who remembers the small details, who honors minor commitments, and most importantly, who maintains their integrity when they believe no one is watching. He observes how people speak of others when they are not present and how they treat those who can offer them no tangible benefit. A single grand betrayal is less damning to him than a consistent pattern of small leaks in character. The casual gossip, the broken confidences, the subtle flakiness. He will never announce that you are failing his audit. There will be no warning memo, no performance review. He will simply and quietly begin to divest. The flow of information will dry up, the investment of his time will cease, and the asset of his loyalty will be silently reallocated elsewhere, long before the other party even realizes the account has been closed. 9. Emotions are data, not dictators. To the outside observer, the Sigma male can appear unervingly calm in the face of chaos, leading to the false conclusion that he is unemotional or detached. The truth is that he feels the entire spectrum of human emotion: anger, frustration, joy, disappointment, with the same intensity as anyone else. The critical difference lies in his relationship with these feelings. While most people are slaves to their emotional impulses, immediately reacting as their feelings dictate, the Sigma treats his emotions as a stream of raw, valuable, and potentially volatile data. He has cultivated the rare ability to create a space between stimulus and response, a core tenet of Stoic self-mastery. When a wave of anger or anxiety surges, he does not suppress it, nor does he allow it to hijack his behavior. Instead, he engages a higher cognitive function. He mentally takes a step back and observes the emotion with a kind of scientific curiosity. This is a strong feeling of injustice. What is the trigger? Is my perception accurate? What is the most strategic long-term response? This is not the suppression of feeling, it is the interrogation of it. This process of emotional metacognition gives him a colossal strategic advantage in any conflict, negotiation, or high-pressure situation. He can access the information the emotion provides without being controlled by its chaotic energy. He would never reveal this internal process, as it would be misconstrued as cold and robotic, when in reality, it is the highest form of emotional discipline and control. 10. Their idealism is fiercely hidden, even from themselves. This is perhaps the most closely guarded vault in the Sigma's psyche. Beneath the layers of pragmatic realism, cynical observation, and strategic self-reliance, there often beats the heart of a profound idealist. He holds a deep-seated, almost sacred belief in concepts that the world seems to mock: true integrity, unwavering honor, genuine connection, and principled courage. He believes in these things so fiercely that he cannot bear to see them tarnished by the cynical, transactional nature of the everyday world. This idealism is the fuel for his quiet disgust with hypocrisy and his silent, profound respect for the rare individuals who demonstrate authentic character. But he armors this idealistic core at all costs. Years of observing human behavior have taught him that openly expressing such idealism is treated as naivety, a weakness to be exploited. So, he encases it in a protective shell of world-weary pragmatism. He will speak the language of realism and self-interest, all while his actions are secretly dictated by his hidden moral compass. He will honor his word with quiet diligence, protect the vulnerable when no one is looking, and operate from a place of internal consistency, never seeking credit or acknowledgement. Admitting the depth of his own idealism, even to himself, can feel like exposing a critical vulnerability. It is the softest part of him and therefore the part he protects with the hardest shell. 11. They know your why, and it's uncomfortable. This is the final, most unsettling truth that the Sigma male holds in silence. While you are busy curating your public persona, perfecting your social media narrative, and rehearsing the story of who you want to be, he is quietly observing the raw, unedited data stream of who you actually are. He pays little attention to the words you say and focuses instead on the nonverbal cues: the flicker of envy in your eyes at another's success, the subtle shift in posture when your authority is challenged, the choices you make when you think no applause is forthcoming. He is a master pattern recognizer, and he pieces together the mosaic of your actions to understand the fundamental why that drives you. He sees the deep insecurity that fuels your need for constant validation, the fear of inadequacy that masquerades as arrogance, the raw ambition that hides behind a performance of false humility. He understands your hidden motivations not because he is psychic, but because he is a hypervigilant observer of human nature. This knowledge is not a weapon he wields for manipulation. That would be too crude and require too much effort. Instead, it is an internal navigation system. It simply informs him how to engage with you, what to expect from you, and where your boundaries of character lie. He will never ever tell you that he sees the puppet strings. He will never let you know that he understands the real reasons for your actions. To do so would be to shatter the carefully constructed illusions you depend on for your own psychological survival, and it would irrevocably break the game. His ultimate power lies in seeing your truth while allowing you to live in your story. The silence of the Sigma male is not empty, it is a fortress. It is a laboratory. It is a weapon. The 11 truths we have uncovered today are not a list of personality quirks. They are the foundational pillars of a mindset built for resilience, independence, and an uncompromising understanding of reality. These are not principles you adopt overnight. They are forged in the fire of self-reflection and disciplined observation. They are the tools for navigating a world of noise and distraction with quiet strength and unshakable purpose. Here at the Sigma Male community, we are not interested in temporary fixes or popular opinions. We are committed to exploring the timeless architecture of male excellence and inner sovereignty. This is a community for men who are done with the performance and are ready to master the art of living an authentic, powerful existence. If what you heard today resonated in that quiet, observant part of your mind, the part that sees the world for what it truly is, then your journey with us has just begun. This is more than just a video, it's an invitation. An invitation to stop being a passive consumer of content and to start being an active architect of your own character. So if you found value here, let us know. Engage. Drop a comment below with the point that hit you the hardest. Like the video to signal that this is the kind of content you want to see more of. Share it with another man who is walking this path alone and needs the reinforcement. And if you haven't already, subscribe and crucially hit that notification bell. Because we are just scratching the surface, and you do not want to miss the deeper truths we have yet to uncover. Stay vigilant. Stay sovereign.